for coming out tonight, far and wide. Many from my home area of West London, but also from far-flung places. My sister's here from New York. Several sportsmen have made it down from one of my other favourite cities in Liverpool. So thank you very much, Tony and David and everybody for coming down from the Northwest as well. And real pleasure to have Carl and Joe and so many fighters here for me tonight. It's a pleasure to be surrounded by so many of my close family, my friends, fight figures, and those who've really helped me out through what's been a long but a lovely labour of love as well. Most thanks, of course, go to my inner circle, my mum, dad, sister, stepmum, brothers, grandma and best friends, and the group's led by my gorgeous wife Jo, who is right behind everything I do, which has been quite a lot in recent months. Jo's bright, she's a wonderful sounding board, and she works tirelessly with our three great children, Jessamy, Oscar and Tilly, who are infectious to be around, and I'm sorry that they're not here tonight. But I couldn't have even attempted to balance my own family, my Sky family and my 20-year adventure with the boxing families without Jo. I'd also like to acknowledge Johnny McWilliams for believing in me right from the outset. Johnny cleverly reshaped my idea into this rather unique slant on boxing. It's a sport that's long been written and spoken about, often in quite fascinating ways, but not as yet giving a floor or real respect to those mums, dads, brothers, sisters, wives, girlfriends who give so much of their lives to their fighters. Johnny and my longtime friend Mel Chappell, along with a genuine fight fan and great guy in Sam Rush, thank you for your faith, and thank you, my Wasserman friends, for organising this with everyone at Trans World. Some real influences on me, like Ian Darke and my boss Barney Francis, couldn't make this. Neither, unfortunately, could my oldest friend Simon Levitt. However, I have found a clone for Levitt. The first time I met my fabulous editor Giles, he was uncannily reminiscent of my best friend. Intriguing intelligence, quirky, a brilliant and at times bizarre mind. He's amazing company, and I loved him from the off. Thank you, Giles, for believing in me, for putting up with me, my long tales, my finicky factual ways, and of course for weaving your own special magic on the book. My Sky colleagues have super qualities too. Barney's been a huge help in supporting my fight for the sport that we love. John Beloff's literary genius produced the book's catchy title, so thank you to him. Caney and the boys, as you will have read, have become cult characters themselves, and thank you, Beth, as well, my new production coordinator, for holding the fort superbly throughout this last year, with my 3 phones buzzing with activity from all sides of the boxing world, promoters, managers, fighters, agents, everybody. So thank you for that. I just want to mention my right-hand men. Both are brilliant in their own ways, both work frenetically hard, and neither have any ego whatsoever. One is the best boxing writer we have, the other, an underrated but an exceptionally successful former world champion who has slipped seamlessly into television and who I share a small, rather wobbly bench with. Johnny Nelson. And my editorial rock, Bob Lee. I could not have done this without your unflinching support. As you all know, I'm passionate, I'm emotional, I'm sensitive, but I am driven. Beautiful Brutality is written from the heart, and I really hope everyone who stumbles across it will not only enjoy the stories, but understand that at the heart of boxing lie families. My childhood hero, Barry McGuigan, is here. Few stronger family men could you find. Many of today's boxing lovers will have another hero. His name is Carl Froch, and this swashbuckling throwback of a fighter is with us today too. Few stronger family men, again, would you find than Carl. Those closest wrapped around their every success in life. Despite the ups and downs, there is, we hope, unconditional love, maybe the only constant. And Joe Calzaghe, here as well, and his father Enzo, proof that families work. Boxing does indeed constantly change. The sport's unpredictability keeps us on our toes 24/7. Even this week, we are debating that weird Pacquiao-Bradley decision in Vegas. Since we went to print just weeks ago, we've had the confirmation of H. Chisora. David sends his apologies for not being here tonight. He is sparring with gloves tonight. We've had the drug scandals of Lamont Peterson and Andre Berto, Paul Williams, so sadly hurt in a motorbike crash, and the terrible loss of Johnny Tapia, whose unbelievable story I mention in the book. That's how quick the sport moves. It produces more personalities than any other as well. I want to finish by highlighting two of them from two totally different parts of the boxing world who've had a profound effect on me. A little lady from Newmains in North Lanarkshire called Margaret Murray, who, despite losing her son James in the last ring tragedy in Britain back in 1995, convinced me to stay in the sport by telling me, a very, very young and inexperienced reporter, that boxing had actually saved her son from a life of drugs and despair, and that I should without hesitation carry on doing what I'm doing. The other was a gladiator of epic and exciting proportions. Some of you will have known or seen Diego Chico Corrales in the ring. The lanky, powerful two-weight world champion who dished up one of the greatest fights and comebacks of the modern era against Jose Luis Castillo, and yet was tragically taken from us in a motorcycle accident at high speeds in the Nevada desert. Diego packed more into his 29 years than most. Brought up in a violent, crime-ridden part of Sacramento, Chico did bad stuff. He had time inside, but he also did a lot of good things too. He had a degree in culinary arts. He was a motivator for young kids, an amazing amateur record of 105 wins with 12 losses, and a pro career of 40-5. He was a loving father, a wonderful, engaging, caring and dynamic man, interviewee, and someone I felt greatly drawn to, hugely admired, and desperately wish was with us today. It's just something about these emotional, real, crazy, and compelling people that I'm drawn to. Beautiful brutality, I guess. Thank you everyone, particularly Joe, for continually holding me together, and I hope you all enjoyed the read as much as even a quarter of the amount I have enjoyed this ride. Thank you for coming, guys.